Corporations are getting way too much power in the United States now. HR is really put there to protect the company and is usually very anti-union. They're not really there to protect you. Today in my video, I'm going to talk about corporations and getting too much power in one particular area, which would be spying on you when you are working for them or you are at work. I prepared kind of an outline and some notes based upon my research on this area in the more recent past. So here it goes. I'm going to kind of give you some information and my take on why I think these kinds of things are ultimately really bad ideas for corporations to engage in this country. I believe that's part of the reason unions are making a comeback again, especially in lower wage parts of the economy. A lot of people just don't want to put up with this anymore, and that's part of the reason unions are making a comeback and are still needed heavily in the private market. The issue that I've heard about lately is corporations putting spy cameras under desks or near work areas or near desks. This is a really big civil rights issue, in my opinion. I think corporations monitoring work at this level is going to lead to more self-employment. I think it's going to lead to early retirement for a lot of people because they don't want to deal with it. It's all over the message boards on social media when you look at the comments section. A lot of people don't want to deal with it. They want to retire, or they want to go work for themselves, or they're looking for other jobs. They don't want to deal with a lot of search firms and agencies anymore or companies. They'd rather work for themselves, and this has a lot to do with it. Most companies are doing this now along with ageism, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit further in the video. I think the age discrimination issue is actually tied somewhat to this particular issue. I think this could be a way for corporations to weed out older workers or for people in their view that are making too much money and they don't want to pay this. So it's a way to weed these people out and therefore increase the profit margin at a more extreme level in this country. It is possible. I can't prove it, but that's my theory on why these companies do a lot of this type of stuff. It's ultimately about money. I think it's going to lead to a lot more age discrimination lawsuits. I think that is possible, or at least it will lead to a lot more general lawsuits against corporations in this nation. You're going to have more of it. I think if they spy on you, the typical worker, they should also spy on their corporate execs, so it's fair through the whole organization, and therefore it's applied to everyone to make it fair. I think if companies knew the character of the people they hire and the personas of the people they hire, this simply would not be necessary and it shouldn't be going on. If they knew who they hired, this wouldn't be happening. It's their responsibility to figure that out. I think it's a really big problem. And it's going to get bigger because there's such distrust out there because the companies are so money hungry, and there was abuse of some of this system, especially remote work during the pandemic, during C-19. So it's a big issue right now. It's going to get worse. I think it's going to lead to lawsuits. I don't think companies should be doing it, but the reality is this is where we're at now in this nation. Once again, thank you for your time. Thank you for your consideration. My next video is on the problems with the airports and with plane disasters in this nation. Thanks again for your time. It's free to subscribe.